Hi everyone. So I was journaling about being seen this morning and what to do when we feel scared of being seen. I do feel that this is a big theme for me this month. Maybe it's because of the Leo season and it's all about self-expression and showing up, owning our voice and being witness in our truth. And so I feel like sharing the key points that came up for me and that can help you overcome this fear of being seen and being witnessed in your truth. I want to share about this from a perspective of sharing your truth in a conversation setting with someone else, but also from a place of wanting to create content, videos, and showing up, sharing your message with other people. So to me, being seen means letting others witness your real, raw, and vulnerable self. Your truth, your emotions, your desires, your imperfections. It means sharing what feels true to you and allowing yourself to be seen in that truth. And feeling scared of being seen can show up in many different ways in our life. You can hold back information or sharing your voice. You can overthink conversations or things that you want to share and just, share when you feel ready or when things are perfectly perfect according to your standards. So this can show up as perfectionism as a way to protect yourself. And this can show up as people pleasing too, like shaping yourself to fit others' expectations. So this fear can show up in many ways in our life and disconnect us from who we truly are. And so I felt scared many times in my life to share my truth, to show up and be vulnerable in conversations, but also creating videos like this one and transmit my message in a more spontaneous way. And for a long time, I tried to overcome this fear by pushing through it, by acting from the fear itself. So I was forcing myself to show up. So yes, I've had conversation and I've posted content when I wasn't feeling safe in my body just to face my fears. But then what happened after that is this type of contraction in my body where I was sharing, but then after that I was doubting myself so much, and I was telling myself I shouldn't have shared that, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have said that. And I was feeling this a sense of shame was coming up every time that I was sharing, because I was pushing through the fears and I was not respecting my body. Basically, I wasn't respecting what felt safe for me. And so I also remember this time that I created a video and my mom saw it, and she called me and she said hey, I loved your video, and so I just posted on my LinkedIn wall. And I remember my reaction at this time. It was something like, what did you do, Mom? No, you didn't do that. Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to me? Why would you put my video on your LinkedIn wall? No. I remember that. And I felt so much shame because I wasn't ready. My body wasn't ready for this type of thing, I wasn't ready to express my truth in this way. And I felt this way because my body was not ready to hold this truth, right? So what I've learned is that it all comes back to safety. If your body doesn't feel safe, you won't show up consistently and authentically. So how do we feel safe? Well, we speak with the body, we sit down, we negotiate, and we find a middle ground. And this starts with asking ourselves the question, what does feel safe right now for me? What truth can I share that will feel safe for my nervous system right now? And so in content creation, for example, this can look like recording a video just for yourself to feel how it moves through you, or posting a video and blocking the comment section, or posting in stories and not in your wall. And in a conversation setting, this can look like writing a message instead of speaking live with the person. And so there is another question that I like asking myself before speaking my truth, which is, what are my conditions for me to feel safe, and what do I need to implement or request so I can feel safe being seen and sharing my truth. So when it comes to sharing like a message, a video in public, maybe this can look like requesting support from your friends and family, or energetic support, connecting spiritually with your guides, or creating a ritual before doing it with a candle. Or maybe you need spaciousness or being in a different environment. Like for me, it's all about movement. I need to be on the move when I publish a post or when I go think about a topic for a video. Like I take my journal and I go walk and sit and write some notes. This helped me feel safe in my body and not overthink. So we all have different ways to not overthink and feel safe in our body. So I really encourage you to ask yourself this question and find your own way. And so in a conversation setting, this can look like grounding yourself before having a conversation, or requesting specific things to the other person before speaking, like asking to not be interrupted, for example. So when you name your condition, you create like a container for your nervous system to relax into the truth. Then most of the time we don't allow ourselves to be seen and express our truth because we have this belief that we don't know where to start, which comes from the overthinking around speaking our truth, and it's here to protect us. It's like our nervous system saying, if I stay stuck in my head, maybe I will stay safe. So being aware of that is the first step towards freedom. The second step is allowing yourself to be messy, because truth can be very messy. And my definition of messiness is that it's the opposite of perfectionism. We often think that truth has to look a certain way. And because we feel scared, we start playing out all these scenarios in our head. We create the dialogue and even the responses of other people before anything has even happened. Isn't that funny? And so we don't actually know how others are going to react, but in our minds, we've already nailed the entire script. So where can you start when it comes to speaking your truth? Well, you can start with the way you feel. Truth always lives in the heart, and the heart speaks through emotions. This is where you start. So I remember having a conversation with a partner where I was holding back because I was scared of how he might react. And so instead of jumping into the hard conversation, I started with my fear. And I said something like, look, I feel super scared to share something with you because I feel afraid that you will leave me, or that you will stop talking to me. And after I've expressed my fears, two things happened. The first one is that I felt a sense of relief just from naming the fear out loud. And it wasn't living in my body anymore. And second, he responded with presence and kindness, which gave me the signal of like, okay, it's safe to share. So when you name your fears, or you share the way that you feel just before speaking your truth, you give yourself permission to open up and receive a signal from the other side and see how the conversation is going to go. Because remember, like, we just can't predict or control the whole conversation. It's really about going with the flow and sharing what feels safe in the moment while being with the person. And same way, if you want to share a message publicly, sometimes the most authentic message that we can share is the way that we feel, and speaking about that before anything else. And finally, I want to share with you two practices that really help me feel safe and hold more of my truth, my visibility, and increase my emotional capacity, I will say. So I did a teacher training in Tantra this year, and one of the many practices that we did was to sit down with a partner, and so it could be a friend or your romantic partner if you have one, and share something that feels vulnerable to you while looking at the other person in the eyes. After sharing, you want to remain silent while maintaining eye contact for 2 to 5 minutes. And this can feel challenging. It's very interesting to notice the thought that comes up when you do that. So it can feel challenging if you've never done it before, because it's a vulnerable moment. You are being seen, you are being witnessed in your truth, literally. And during those few minutes of silence, you're showing your body that it is safe to be seen and witnessed after speaking your truth. So your nervous system begins to relax. And very often we share vulnerable things, but we leave, we run, we hide, like we don't stay with our feeling, we avoid. But when you allow yourself to share and be lovingly witnessed by someone, it just changes everything, trust me. It rewires your nervous system and increase your capacity to share more authentically. I really recommend this practice. I've requested all my friends to do it with me whenever I share something that feels vulnerable. And so we look at each other in the eyes and you know, I just take a breath and I make a sound to release what's moving through, and it really has helped me to feel safer in my body. The second practice is making a pause after sharing a vulnerable truth and staying with your feelings. So maybe you've just had a conversation with someone that felt like deep, or you posted something on social media, or you shared a video that felt vulnerable. So instead of rushing to the next thing, you pause, you stay with the video, you stay with the post, you stay with whatever you've created. You stay with the feeling that are arising in your body. And so you notice the sensations, the emotions, and you let them move through you. And this helps you build emotional safety. And it teaches your nervous system that it's okay to feel this. I'm not abandoning myself. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I will be sharing more around this topic in the next coming weeks, everything related to being seen and speaking your truth. I also feel speaking about this part of us that it's not scared, but that is craving to be seen and to be witnessed. And so, yeah, stay tuned. See you soon.